Ethereum falls over 15% since its all-time high over 2 days ago, but is it going to continue to fall to the downside, or are we going to see a break back up to the upside to produce yet another all-time high? Hey guys, if you're new to the House of Crypto, it's my job to help you learn more about different altcoins, Ethereum and Bitcoin, in order to be able to make more money. So guys, if that sounds good, make sure you hit that subscribe and like button on the way in to be kept up to date with all of the latest happening in the world of cryptocurrency. So let's take a look at the Ethereum US dollar. So in this first channel, so we've been tracking for the last few episodes, this big rising wedge channel, rising channel pattern, with the pink line being the bottom and the yellow line being the top, and the green line sort of being a median line, if you like. Now, this is on the 4-hour chart, so each candle represents 4 hours. We've seen this dip down, which has happened very recently in the last sort of 4 hours or so. Now, what we saw is this trace down to the downside. Now, what we're going to look for is indicators of what's going to happen now coming back. So, in terms of the first to start with would be a bearish scenario to look at, in that currently we are heading down and we're following this. It's only a very short time frame since this has been happening, but this time we can see this falling wedge pattern. Now, these is typically a bullish pattern. Okay, so as it falls down, often we will see a break to the upside. Now, that as it looks, doesn't look like that's like a likely scenario, I'm sure you're thinking. However, this is often the way that it plays out, so we need to be tracking that. Now, in terms of our key line of support, this pink line here, which has been a very successful channel for us, or a very successful line of support, in that if we look back historically, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. It's come down here, this hasn't come, and currently now looking number 5. Now, this has obviously happened a few times, but it's not going to continue forever to exist in this channel, so it's going to have to make a move one way or the other. And we've also seen on the other side this being a significant line of resistance in the yellow line. Now, in terms of what happens if it breaks through this pink channel, well, the next line that we want to look at is this orange line here. Now, this is the 200-day moving average, and what I want you to look at, guys, is since we've been basically in this bull cycle, since Ethereum has been pumping from down here at around what $300 up and down, every time pretty much once we broke above the orange EMA line here, we never really got down below it again, and it's come multiple times. It's like 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way up to here, guys, and it's just continued to hold a really solid line of support for us. That doesn't mean it's going to continue forevermore, yeah. Just because it's happened before doesn't mean it's going to continue to happen. However, there's something to, in terms of like how confident we feel in our positions right now, this is something that gives us good confidence. Now, where is that orange line? It's actually currently at $16, which would mean another $200 fall from where it's currently at, which is quite some drop, probably another 14-15%. So what does that mean for us? Well, actually, the market is potentially just dropping back down because it's been overbought. We talked about Ethereum being overbought the other day. Basically, everyone putting in long positions, believing that it's going to go further and further, with not much coming the other way. That tends to mean that there's a bit of volatility in the market, and as soon as there's a little bit of a drop, we can see a very short drop to the downside, as all of these guys who've got long positions in are getting liquidated. Okay, eventually that gets soaked up till we get to a steady point, and which we can then absorb and come back up to the upside. So actually, in terms of as a long time hold, this is not a worrying time, guys. In my personal opinion, from the research I've done, what I believe, we've got Ethereum 2.0 coming out next week. This should help reduce gas fees and improve the running of Ethereum to ultimately make it, potentially more profitable and a better investment for us. Now, as it moves down to this pink line, if it continues to hit against it, then we probably will see a bit of a break towards it. However, in the past, we've never really seen a 4-hour close below that line. So actually, as long as we don't really close a 4-hour candle below, which as we stand, you can see we're well above doing that. Oh, sorry, just here, well above doing that. Then we'll look to bounce, and then we'll be looking at the 50-day EMA and 200-day EMA, and whether we're going to come back up to this blue line and how we might break out of this green triangle. Okay, so be careful of just like dropping your bags and running away, guys. If you got in at like $2,000, I'm sure you're probably very worried about that right now. But in my personal opinion, obviously do your own research. Trading's risky and you can lose all your money. But in my own personal opinion, that's when the big money is coming in to buy, and that's when then the price suddenly wicks back up to the upside, and you've kind of like lost a big holding. I've done it before. I'm sure many of you've done it before, where you've dropped to the bottom and you've sold it all, and then it goes back up, and then you buy back in, it goes back down, and then you end up in this spiral. But actually, as it currently sat, Ethereum is in a great position, guys. Now, looking at a bullish scenario, which is obviously what I personally believe will eventually play out, given a couple of days down at this sort of level around here, is that we're going to push back up towards this yellow line. Now, obviously, that's kind of good news in that would see us back to an all-time high again of 2,200 pretty much. Okay, so that's from here like nearly a $400 increase. And in terms of a bounce back of percentage wise, you're looking at 23, just around 23%. Okay, so that's a really good thing for us. %1 increase. Okay, so that's obviously like something we're waiting for. It's not going to happen over immediately, guys. But I could see, in the past when we come down and touch this, look, this was probably within 2 days. Okay, a day and a half. We've come all the way up from there at like $1,200, and we came up to $1,600. So that's pretty much the same increase I would be looking to see over the next couple of days. Now, we obviously, as I mentioned, have to come out of this channel at some point. And what does that mean? Now, in terms of how it breaks out of these channels, the targets tend to be sort of the level of the channel and up. Now, obviously, it's going to come up to two. If it has to come up, it'll have to come up to around 200 to 250. Then and then that causes a breakout. That's where we end up at $2,500 in the space potentially of a 3-day window, guys. Now, obviously, there's both situations that you need to be aware of, both a downside drop and an upside. And always, we're looking to kind of minimize our risks, so we can always come back and trade tomorrow. And we're not gamblers. We're making sure that we're ready for every situation. If, in terms of what I'm looking for in a bearish scenario, is we see a breakdown, we maybe see a confirmation back up to the pink before falling, and then maybe my price, my target would be something around $1,600. On the other side, if we were to break above this blue line, I'm pretty confident that if we put in another candle here, around here, and then it engulfs this one, so it comes all the way back up, and it's bigger than this other candle here, I'll be putting in a buy trade, and I'll be looking to maybe take profits around this blue line, take profits around this yellow line, and then potentially if we break out of this yellow line, then maybe I'll be starting to look to open another trade there and not necessarily be greedy and wait forever for it to try and go up, because you might as well keep banking money along the way. There's nothing bad about taking money, and if we took it out too soon, then it's not a problem, guys, because it's still up. We'll still make that money another day somewhere else. Anyway, guys, hope today's been useful. If you're interested in other cryptocurrencies, make sure you leave a comment down below, and I'll see if I can take a look at them. If you are also new to the channel, then please subscribe to be kept up to date with all the latest happening in Ethereum, Bitcoin, and all the other altcoins out there. And please make sure that you turn that thumb blue, guys. Spend quite a lot of time researching and making these videos, and it really helps me for you to just spend a couple of seconds turning that thumb blue. And if you don't like it, then turn the other one down. That's fine. But I hope you enjoyed it, guys, and I aim to continue to bring you some good content. But thanks very much. Stay safe trading, and I will see you again soon.